so fire.
That song is so deep.
Oh my God, that song is by Brianna Knight. It's streaming on all platforms right now. Make sure y'all pause this right now, put that song on, and then come back, all right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, this is your host and your favorite multifaceted black girl, Alexandra Alexis. I'm here with some new Naga.
Naga. What's going on? What's going on?
SOS Brady.
Yeah, your favorite's back. It's good.
Behind the scenes, you know, we got the one and only Tadito.
Glizzy Capital King Juniors.
And then to the left of me, we have the singer, songwriter, poet, and the beautiful Brianna Knight. Thanks, y'all. Yo, Brianna, thank you so much for coming on. This is episode 36 of Pass The Aux.
Let's get it.
Brianna featuring the Nets.
Yo, it's
Brianna
summertime
and the
in New
Nets.
York, so you already know what's up. The Bugs is out.
Out here.
Where we shoot is next to some jungle behind us, so we got some gnats. But you know, it's Brianna and the Nats tonight, so we good.
And Alex didn't shower, so it doesn't really help. the
Alex
situation.
always showers 2 times a day. 2 times a day. 2 times
You
a
don't
day.
smell
baby.
like it. What's going on?
I mean, I smell Gucci. So, anyway, how are you doing today, Brianna? How you feeling?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Thank you for having me on, y'all. I really appreciate the love and everything. It's really dope. First off, Pass The Aux. Yeah, I just had to let that out. Like, I tried to play it cool coming in and everything, but really, I've been fangirling. Like damn.
You've been receiving a lot of love though for So Deep.
Yeah.
Like, this record is
Long overdue,
Yeah.
man.
You know, and it's
Long
like
overdue.
I don't want to It's crazy though, because I even told Alex because I met you previously, but I don't really actually remember even the encounters. But I remember when Alex was like, "Yo, this is Brianna," and I was like, "Wait, hold on!" Like, I felt like I missed out on the opportunity of actually meeting you once I heard the record. Like, I was like, "This record, I've never heard a record that good around here in a minute. Like, it's been a very long time. Like, in terms of just production, singing, you can get the whole thing was just bomb. Like, bomb as fuck. So
Very well.
And for people that don't know, I've been a fan of yours since I was a kid, bro. I've known Brianna. We went to school together for we've been going to the same schools for a long time. I'm a little older than you, but I remember our talent shows. I used to do my little.
That's a throwback.
I remember with talent shows. Brianna Knight was the star of the night. Literally, everybody would sing. Everybody would sing, but we already knew. Even Mr. Perez, because that was my boy. I remember Mr. Perez, our chorus teacher. He was like, y'all do your little thing, but y'all know Brianna is coming on. And she's been doing this forever, y'all. Since the 5th grade, 6th grade, you've been blowing, you could sing. That's why, as we got older, obviously went to different schools, all that stuff. But even when, I was meeting you again, coming back to doing shoots with Jimmy and stuff, and just seeing your Instagram and seeing your growth, I love to see it, man, because you've always been able to sing. And you don't just sing, you sing. And it's I'm just glad to see that, through the years, you've still kept with your artistry, you've still kept creative, even though you got into poetry and all different things. You've always been a singer, and you do this, and I love to see that you're getting so much love with this song.
Let me just say really quick that I don't think I've met you before, but I feel like I've had the privilege of not meeting you before, because I feel like what other people tend to do, especially around here, is they know you know you. They know what you were. They have an image of you at 15, at 14 that they kind of can't drop. So it's whatever it is, they still see you as this unevolved person
Question.
at that time.
Did you come to any of the Past Talks
Okay, it's
events?
not like I'm literally just talking or anything.
No,
it's not like I was literally just talking. I mean, obviously what I have to say is not that important.
It was beautiful.
All right, because it was going someplace, but it's fine.
My fault. Just question, did you come to any of the Past Talks events or no?
No.
It's because you were there.
You probably just seen her before, because she's done. She works with a lot of. Yeah,
I've been around. Also on Instagram. That's the thing about Valley. It's very weird. It's you don't get to connect with every creative, but people have seen you. It's a small town.
Yeah, for real. Even if they don't know you personally, when they see you, and it's we're always put together some way, somehow.
Yes.
So it's you'll go to a shoot, you'll go to a party, you'll go to this, and it's oh, you're that girl. You're that girl on Instagram. And then you're cool. So, yeah, it's a small town. But, so with So Deep, I know you've been working on music for a long time. But what are your plans with So Deep? How has the love and everything, how has just the experience been behind the record So Deep?
Oh, my God. Well, First off, I remember when I wasn't going to post it. So shout out to Trilogy, shout out to my partner, shout out to my loved ones. I remember listening and being like, I don't know, man. And Jimmy
You're gonna
literally
post a song or the video?
both.
Oh, both.
I remember Jimmy was just like, Brianna, it is time. Like, you're gonna be 23. Like, post something. And I'm like, oh, all right, okay, fine. So we put out like the fun track, and then So Deep is my baby, and it's just been amazing the love I received, because I couldn't have imagined. We're almost at 500,000 streams, got 1,000 views, like we getting hit ups from like A&Rs and stuff, like things that I did not anticipate, did not imagine.
Those
like a couple years ago, I was literally dreaming of this, where just everything came together, and it's been amazing. Even then, just the opportunities and the people that truly showed out, who've always showed up. Like it's all love hearing that you've been here since that, and those same people being like, I'm so proud of you. I remember watching you, but you was like this big, and it's like you were really here, and you're still here, and you're real, and I mess with that.
It's dope. How do you feel like the transitioning from? Because in college, do you feel like you were mostly singing, or were you mostly doing your poetry thing?
So it's crazy enough, because when I first auditioned for Urban Lyrics, shout out Urban Lyrics, it's my family at New Paltz. It was poetry, but then I was singing, so I applied my poetry with my guitar. That's when I started getting into showing it. Because when I was in high school, I never showed people I played guitar, and then I started mixing both, and that's when.
By the way.
Oh, I was scared. I was so scared. I've grown a lot personality-wise before. I remember even for talent shows, I'd be stiff like this. I'd be singing, they'd be like, sing, girl. And I'm still singing, but when I was in college, it just truly helped me branch out and really just develop like my lyricism. Even though it was a requirement on the team. It was like, if you can't spit, you're not performing. So it was very much like, all right, okay, fine. For every song I sing, I'm gonna have a poem. And then even then, it became collaborations with people doing poetry in between me playing and stuff like that, where it definitely sharpening both of those skill sets. I would have to say it's really half and half. Like New Paltz knows me as the poet, but they also know me as the singer, live singer at least. So Deep is my first like real record pushed marketing, like music video. So now you could truly say I'm a recording artist, like full on.
Go ahead. And to the point where I was gonna say before Trey's ugly ass interrupted me, was that
he's beautiful. All beautiful black people at this table.
What's your voice?
No, it's just that like as not seeing you before, like I saw the visuals, I saw the rollout, I listened to the music, and it was like kind of already complete for me. Like it's funny how like people were saying, "Oh, I've been waiting for this." Alex was like, "Oh, Brianna this, Brianna," and it's like I see it and I get it, and it was dope. And you know, we're gonna get into the other video with the leopard print. We're gonna get into the video with the leopard print, the So Deep visuals, but it makes sense, and I'm a fan.
Thank you. Worked hard, man, a lot of years, and even then dipping into just like the marketing aspect. You can sing all you want, but nowadays you gotta come with it. Show who you are, personality, have a rollout and everything, and truly taking that shot to my Power to Inspire family, taking that time to learn from like vets in the industry, like Vivian Scott Chu, Ray Scott Chu, like Tracy, people who sang backup for like Mariah Carey, just pouring into me like during like literally last summer during the pandemic, like I learned a whole bunch, and that's how I applied it to So Deep. So if it wasn't for them, all that marketing, the extra stuff, well, wouldn't have been there.
So like, let me ask you a question. So you said that the marketing is essential to basically the recording putting out the record now. What was the process of you realizing that? Did you realize that off rip, or was that somewhere it was like, yo, this is what I need to do, you know what I'm saying?
Ooh, so with So Deep, I decided to release another track that was just for fun called How Do You Feel? And that was our practice run. That was like, all right, how do we do this rollout thing? And I was so overwhelmed. Shout out to Jimmy. I was like, oh my God, I'm tired. So for this next one, we gotta come with it. Very much, a lot of it came from what could I do conveniently? I started working literally when I was about to release So Deep. So it was very much, what could I do conveniently? And then also, how do we have a color palette? How do we showcase love? And coming up with that pitch too is very important, even to my artists listening. Yo, have a pitch, have a reason why you do what you do. And in the beginning, I was writing about my partner and I, just how healing Black love can be, how in love I am, and how I'll always be in love, and being like, that's the pitch. And the marketing just came together. It just that authenticity, which sometimes I feel like is missing. Like I love the glitz, the glamour, whatever, that's cool, but sometimes you just need organic, and that's really what it was about.
And it feels organic, because no lie, when I heard this So Deep record, I like I said, I told you I saw myself in that log cabin with the fire, with the bearskin rug, leopard skin robe, and then I heard How Do You Feel? I threw the robe out and I picked up my Glock and I lit my blunt. When I heard that How Do You Feel, I said, boom, 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 boom! I was in there going crazy. So,
bro, I was
dope.
sending that song
That's
to like
cool.
the engineer of this studio, and he was just like, "Yo, who is she? Like, what's going on?" Like,
my God.
it's like that song. It's like Trey was saying, like, you know, out of Rockland, there's a lot of singers, but like the way you just commanded, like, and you touched a little bit upon it about like, you know, finding your confidence within singing, and it's crazy to hear that because when you were younger, I guess you were shy. I mean, your voice wasn't shy, so I don't know about that. But like, even like 2 years ago, you performed at like Beyond the Wall, and that was the first time like I really seen you perform, and like you really have a confidence, and you exude a confidence that
Practice.
like, yeah. And I was gonna ask, like, how do you feel like you've been able to evolve and hone in on your confidence as a Black woman? Because I know it's probably been so difficult for you to be like, dang, I don't want to be this because that's not me, and I don't want to try to do this. I just want to be me, you know. So how did you come to that?
That's a dope question. Again, shout out to Urban Lyrics. Being around a lot of strong Black women, and also I didn't really have a musical mentor. Nobody was like, this is how you roll out a record, this is how you record, this is how you want to be. It was more of figuring out and truly letting the universe, God, just speak to me like, all right, okay, this is what you want to do, this is what you're about. I also think like I'm thankful that I did grow up in church, just for the fact that I figured out like, even if, you know what I'm saying, church kids be out here, you know what I'm saying? Even if,
you know what that is.
Even if you're like, yo, I want this music
I thought y'all
stuff
was
to be
tag team
real.
trying to kill a net. I was like,
That
was impressive.
That would have been impressive. That would have been
Right.
impressive.
My fault.
No, it's okay. It's okay. That did apply. Just basically figure out you have to have like a reason for what you do, and that alone is your confidence. And also just realizing like yes, the record, but you are the product. You are the thing. And if people don't mess with you, then that's them just not messing with you. And to be honest, you will vibe yourself. So that's all you need to do. So really practicing that at New Paltz, just interacting with people, talking with people, and being like, look, this is what I'm gonna give, and if you don't like it, that's on you. But I had a great time.
Yeah,
So
that's one of the hidden gems of college. Like, I remember my freshman year, I wanted to like just get into so many different things I never did before, just because I was like, I'm not around people from home. Nobody knows me here. Nobody's from high school. Like, I could really spread my wings. And like, once you get into that zone, you really start to see like, damn, I'm dope. Like, niggas like
dope.
me.
People
Like,
love me.
I could tap into different sides of me that I never thought. Like, so that's really dope that you were able to find a community in college and truly like hone in on just who you are as a singer. And that's so dope.
That's a fact. That is definitely one benefit of college.
That's a hidden gem. It's a hidden gem.
Being able to, because I could say I found my Blackness in college 1,000%.
Come on. That's Tracy. That was
a lot of people.
100%. If it wasn't for
like,
college, we probably wouldn't be that cool. You know what I'm saying? Because you connected with your Blackness on that.
it's
Not real
fact.
shit.
Nah, real shit. I did.
You
Like,
truly had to push.
yeah. Nah, I was in there. She was a skater boy. She said, see you later.
No, and the thing is that you deserve to talk about that spectrum of Blackness. Whether you are a musician or just a regular human being, you deserve a spectrum. So if you want to jam out to Paramore, shout out to my suburban Black kids. Be out here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
on that.
That's fire. Stop acting like that. The disco didn't have hits.
Okay,
Stop
right?
playing.
Like, no, it's just appreciating that spectrum of Blackness. And truly, college allows you to just engage with that. You deserve that much, especially like
so true.
Growing up in Rockland, sometimes you feel like you have to be this kind of Black. Like if you're not Caribbean, you're not cool. And you like, dang, like that's really what it is.
Yeah.
But when you go in a room full of white kids, you like, damn, they think I'm Black. I know I'm Black.
No, for real.
They really think I'm Black.
No, they think that I'm like really like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm DMX, like I'm coming straight like from the Bronx. You like, bro, I came from the suburbs.
You're like, I'm really from Rockland County.
I'm an hour away. Like, and even then, I know I got family, I got cousins like that, but I'm like, hey, yo, like that's, you know, like
they think I'm Black.
They think. Damn,
that's
and then,
so true.
No,
though.
for real.
She said they think I'm
That's so true.
That is the best way that I can put it. It's the best way that I can put it.
It's funny that we talk about college because I had to just remember the name of the book, but by Tanisha Coates, he wrote Between the World and Me. He was talking about how college, when he went to Howard, how it was like the Mecca almost. Like that was him coming back to himself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And he was able to connect with so many different levels of Black people, and it was like that was his oasis in a sense.
Yeah,
and
you
it's
see,
dope that we said that.
That was exactly my experience. Like when I went to college, like I remember my freshman year specifically at Iona. Like Iona is it's a predominantly white school, but you know when you go to a predominantly white school, I think the gem of that is that the Black community is like this. Like when I say so open. Tight, so open, so just like, yo, you're Black, come here. Like, and it's like that was the first time I seen like poetry, like people like in Rockland and where I went to school in New Jersey, like I felt like being a poet was like, oh, you're different, you know, like that's that nigga, you know, like they do like that was like such a, but like I went to Iona and then I'm seeing people like every Thursday they have poetry slams and people that never did poetry were just getting up and doing poetry, and I'm just like, oh, like they like actually like look for, like this is what we're looking for here, like we're looking for creatives in the Black community, like it's not such a like, oh, like damn, you do poetry, like that's so crazy. It's like it's beautiful to really find a community in college because you really learn a lot about yourself. I learned a lot not only through college but the years surrounding college. Like I feel like I learned so much about myself. Yeah,
because I didn't go to college, but those years were still formative. You see what I'm saying?
You still learned a lot.
My college was going on the road and hitting Tennessee and then doing, because you know, like when I was back when I was
traveling,
you know, that was my college. That was my learning experience. So I didn't really go to college. I got the experiences pulling up to Pace and shit like that. The Paulie nights and shit like that. But outside of that, I never really experienced that.
There's been 3 times in my life I ever seen this man down bad, and 2 of them was those nights, bro.
Oh no.
Trey he's really good at keeping himself together for the most part. Bro. Nah, this man. Dead body.
Not a dead body.
It changes your soul.
Not a dead body.
And we can get into a conversation later, but college definitely has to be responsible for producing at least 25% of the world's alcoholics.
Functioning alcohol.
Come on now.
Functioning.
Wake up. Functioning and not functioning either, though.
I had a roommate in college my freshman year. Erin, if you're watching this, I'm talking about you.
Not the name.
Bro, I'm putting out the name. Erin is chilling now. She's like a social worker.
Now it's gonna pop up on my suggestion.
Yo, my roommate Erin, bro, she like, but I had so much respect for her because she was a functioning alcoholic. Thursday, I'm telling you guys, she didn't have Friday classes. So from Thursday night till Saturday night, this girl was blackout drunk. Sunday morning, first person up at 9 a.m. doing all her work. In the library. Like, I would go to the library around 1 o'clock. Shorty's like, oh yeah, I'm leaving. I've been here for 4 hours. I'm like, Erin, what time did you wake up? She's like, I've been up since like 6. I'm like, last night you was dead. And it's like, yo, functioning alcoholics are made in college. Like, I'm telling you.
And also not functioning too.
Yeah, and then not functioning.
I know a few like that didn't stay on the path. So let's just, let's throw that out there too. But yeah, dope.
But yeah, let's get back to your visuals. So your So Deep visuals. So you're a visual artist, I feel like, from the get, because even from your poetry book, I know you've seen it, Trey. Did you see some clips from her visual poetry book?
I think I went to.
You went to the event that she showed it at.
Did the thing. I remember.
Yeah, the Beyond the Walls event. And you've been doing visuals for a long time, and I really love your viguals. How did you come about making the So Deep visual? What was your thought process behind? I know you said you had like you wanted to go in with an intent, but like, how was it created?
It was
amazing.
Jazzy in there.
Yeah, I love
it. It was definitely jazzy in there.
We first gotta say shout out to the Blessing, the Genius, like literally Trilogy, Jimmy.
A1 Trilogy.
That's my right hand, my go-to for any visuals. I remember I came to him like, yo, I want to do some type of like VHS type feel. It's like do really 90s. He goes, yeah. I'm telling him over the phone. He's like, yeah. Meanwhile, he's not getting it.
It's not
he's just like, we doing it.
Visual, very visual. And we learned a lot from doing it. And then he pulls up because I'm like, I don't really want to rent out a studio. I think I want to keep it like this home vibe doing it inside. He's like, oh,
that's dope.
Okay. He's recording. He's like, y'all know when your videographer is like, ooh. They wanted to pay me. So. And I look at him, I'm like, Jimmy, be real. It's not working for you. It looks dusty. it looks bad. I'm like, what?
That's him.
So then he's like, look, here's what we need. We need something bold. We need something, red. People like red. I'm like, okay, all right. He's like, you got some bold clothes. I got this cheetah print. And so like, I break it out. For real, like I break it out. And he's like, all right, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Let's do some performance. I'm like, yeah, you know what? And they get my boo in the video. He could be like my little partner. Whatever I touch up on him, like, yeah, I can order some nails. No, for real. And literally my partner's like, yeah, you know what? I'll come in and I'll pull you at the end. I'm like, yeah, that's good.
So you guys literally you created something out of nothing.
Truly, when I tell you we made it work, we went to Walmart. We was like, yo, get these sheets, bro. We put them up. We had like, pins in the wall. We had ribbons. We tied it to like a lamp, sticking the lamp up in the wall. We're like, nah, you can't get that angle right there because you got the floor. Make sure you cover that. Just a bunch of stuff, truly like low budget made it look high budget and just truly making something out of nothing.
Even people with money, bro. I remember school plays, it'd be looking pretty on stage, but behind the scenes, people are screaming like, what the fuck is like, when it comes to production, you really just gotta do what you gotta do, especially when you have a vision, you know? And it's crazy because I bet you so many people watched that video and they were just like, yo, she was proud probably in an expensive ass studio. This is like so crazy.
And literally been giving tips to so many artists coming up. I'm like, yo, if you don't have the budget, you make it work. You figure out how to make it work. You have other things you need to allocate to your budget, aka boost that marketing up. Put that $50 you was gonna get or whatever to get the space. Yeah, I suggest that for your Instagram ads and figuring out who your demographic is so you can actually get the followers up and get people to go over to your Spotify or your Apple Music. It's very strategic, especially when Jimmy and I speak, it's very strategic. We're like, yo, this is how much money we got. He's like, bet. All right, this is what we compromise on. This is what we could do. A lot of people, if you thought like that, instead of, I'm not saying spending your studio time is ridiculous. I'm not saying spending $800 for the engineer is ridiculous. I'm not saying spending $2,000 for the video was crazy. But what I'm saying is, if you don't even have the audience yet, my guys, take a step back and think about that budget. Reallocate that.
That's what I was gonna say. It really just depends on your level, like where you at with it. You know, like because even me, like in the process, like I'm trying to make my visuals as realistic as possible. You know what I'm saying? And right now I'm using Todd, me and Todd, like we trying to create things off of just as realistic as possible. You know what I'm saying? I don't got $1,000. I don't got $100,000 to put into a visual, but I got a couple dollars. Let's see what we could do. Let's create the space. You know what I'm saying? And I like that's why I resonate.
And it's like, why put $5,000 into a video that only 50 people are gonna watch?
Oh, because you didn't market it properly, mind you. You thought the $1,000 video was gonna make up for you not actually doing the rollout before, during, and then after, and then figuring out how you were gonna loop that to your other content for next time, or being in charge of all your social media pages so people can actually be updated. I respect it. I respect it a lot because even our previous guest, we had Guan here. He was our last guest, and his visuals are amazing. Like he is a visual artist. Like he's a rap artist, but his visuals are amazing, and he came here talking about how he made nothing out of something. He made something out of nothing. Like he was with his friends. He was like, "This is what I want." You just have to have a good team and a good eye, and somebody who's just willing to go that extra mile with you to make what you want happen. And that's so dope. So I was about to say that's so deep.
That's so deep.
Yes. So what's next for you, Brianna? Before we get into our topics, what's next for Brianna? Your music? Do you have an album coming out? What's happening?
OMG. So I do have a project dropping in the springtime, 2022. So look out for that.
Perfect.
We have a cute little summer tape coming. I'll surprise it on everybody. And we have a remix and a merch store coming out at the end of this month. So please stay tuned. Please stay tuned. I have my friend from Brazil. Shout out Fuey. She did the damn thing for the record. She did. And we got UK love up in there too, you know what I'm saying?
That's
so
dope,
definitely
man.
look out for it.
That's dope. Alrighty, let's get to some topics, y'all.
Before we get into the topics, I'm sorry, question. I noticed that you call, is it your man? Or your partner? Your partner? Is
like
that on purpose?
Yeah, so I do that so that I give you an open dialogue for everybody. So let's say that like whatever sexuality you are or whatever the gender of your person, I'm not saying, oh, my boyfriend, girlfriend. That sounds really very binary when we know that gender is just like a construct. So when I say partner, it's an open dialogue for everybody here. So whatever you feel comfortable.
Whatever it is, that includes everybody.
Yes.
Whatever it is.
Yes.
So you're a huge advocate for like LGBT?
Yes,
like that?
100%. If you're a human, you're a human.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
All right, cool. Dope.
I like that. I like partner because I've heard about like I want to say 2 years ago I went to an event and a girl was referring to her was it her? No, it wasn't her husband. It was her fiance actually. She was referring to him as her partner, and I remember hearing that and I was like, I like that. Like I don't like boyfriend girlfriend just because I feel like that's so like elementary school. Like that's my boyfriend. It feels so. Yeah, it's like that's my man. Like we grown.
Let me ask you a question to stay on it. Do you like where like the LGBT movement right now? How do you feel like it is right now? Do you think it's in a good place right now? Do you guys feel like it's getting the recognition it deserves right now?
I think that Black trans women need way more of a spotlight. I feel like even with Pride, there's a lot of although like yes, like you know what I'm saying, you gay, like that's dope. But white gays, I feel like are taking up way too much of the space.
Like always.
No, it's
taking up the space. They are the space.
Yeah,
taking up the space, rewriting the stories. When it's like it's crazy that people still don't know about Marsha leading like the reason why we have Pride is because of Marsha or not.
I don't know. Can you inform me?
I don't know.
Basically, Marsha and I forgot the other individual led the first like Pride like protest riots, like the whole 9. They were there for it and they freaking died. And the thing is that people still don't know their name, but they're sitting here buying like rainbow gear. Yeah, like what's my outfit for the day? When it's like, yo, black trans women are still dying every day, and the person that started the movement literally passed away, and none of y'all don't even know.
So it was a black trans woman who started the movement? Oh shit, I did not even know that.
No, but you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody's so blinded by like literally logos being covered in rainbow flags that like they're not getting it.
And I saw something on Barstool today actually that I didn't think it was that funny. I thought the concept was more so funny, where it talks about like he's scrolling through everything, and for Pride Month, it's like it's just become so gimmicky, where it's like,
every June.
Look at this,
corny.
look at this Pride salad. It's such a look at this Pride salad. It's so diverse. We put rainbow sprinkles on our ice cream for Pride Month.
It's ridiculous.
We have this new Balenciaga got this new sweatshirt that says gay on it, and it's $900. Like what is like?
Wait, what's the benefit?
It's
like,
watering down the whole message.
To me, it's disrespectful. Like the Black Lives movement, it's just disrespectful. Like,
oh, you mean the yellow paint on the street?
Yeah,
that was supposed to like help the fans feel.
That was supposed to make us.
Yeah.
They switch a sign and call it Dr. Martin Luther King, and we're supposed to be like, oh, like.
But I can say, as far as the LGBTQ community, my biggest challenge when trying to understand and trying to be with it. Is the pronouns, and I still mess those up, and I be feeling the one thing I don't. Yeah, because I don't understand the whole they thing. Like, I understand who to call they, but I just don't understand how to use it in a sentence.
Oh,
so like, and things like that. And I've had it to where like I kind of feel bad because I might use it incorrectly, and someone just immediately black on me, as if like I was trying to be disrespectful.
Has that happened to you? Somebody tried to block on you?
Where it was like, where I was like, there was like, I was like, oh, they, and they're like, no, it was like something else, and they're like, you didn't use that right, and they made me feel bad. It was like it was like you hurt me when there was a moment for education. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you tried to, that was your moment to teach me something, and it was like you wanted to. It was like more spiteful.
It's very like sometimes you have to think that people are coming from a place of pain, and also like their whole existence is being tested. Like the fact that somebody somewhere is arguing about somebody's existence. Yeah. They're arguing about their very existence. And again, when we talk about black trans women, think about that. They're arguing about them being trans, arguing about them being black, arguing about them being a woman. Three things. Yeah, somebody's gonna black on you. Like all the time, you feel like it's do or die. And it's also a thing of, I'm very much kind of like sometimes, as much as we could say we want education, it's not their job in that moment. And that really does suck. That really does suck. And it really, like, it's terrible. But it's also a thing of like, dang, the best that you could do is apologize. And it's like,
oh no, I just kind of said my bad and I kept it pushing.
That's the best thing that you could do. Yeah. Like, because I don't necessarily agree like all the time with it. Sometimes I do get the frustration, like, my guy, like, I literally laid it out for you. Like, what are you doing? But it's very much like,
and like for me, it's like it's such a new concept for me.
Yeah,
to
it's
where
a new
I'm like,
for a lot of people,
and I'm like trying to understand it, and it sucks that it's no one's job to educate me, but I have to know. Like it's a weird like dynamic. Like I have to educate
and it's hard.
myself.
That's so hard.
It's hard. It's like
that's difficult.
How do you feel about? Because I feel like there's almost like a battle between, and it shouldn't be like this, but it seems like there's a battle between like Black people and the LGBT community, where it's like people are getting split. How do you feel about that?
I feel that people aren't focusing enough on Black trans women. That's your peace treaty right there. That's your holy grail. That's the Messiah. That's the person who should be leading the movement in the first place. Disabled Black trans women, queer, disabled Black trans women, the minute that they're able to get rights, all of us will. Because that's the person, when we think about a totem pole of life, that's the person that's at the bottom. That's the person that's the most oppressed. If a disabled Black trans woman is able to get rights, the rest of us will. That's why I feel like people are misunderstanding when they're like, you're focusing too much on them. What about us? It's like, no, there's a disabled Black trans woman who's in a wheelchair trying to push it to be a part of these protests, and you're not even helping her. You're not even hearing her when she's speaking. That's the people
they're even at a more disadvantage than Black people.
You see what I'm saying?
Do you get offended with like, say like Dave Chappelle? You know how Dave Chappelle had to stand up and he got
the alphabet.
Yeah, do you get offended with stuff like that?
Like, and shit like that?
Well, be transparent.
It's not my place to say if I'm offended or not, because that's not like, I'm not the
part of that community.
But also, I do understand that if you're frustrated, no, I do get it, because that shouldn't be a part of the comedy. Like, for example, if somebody was like, ha ha ha, yeah, nigger, you'd be like, whoa, why is that a part of the set? Kind of a thing. I feel that it's just, I understand when people are like, oh, it's a light joke. But then if we kind of flipped it into what would make you tick, you'd be like, that's not cool. And again, it's also the times that we're we're talking about Black trans women dying, people really shouldn't be making those jokes. It just doesn't work. It doesn't apply. It's inappropriate. But again, not my place to be frustrated, but I do get it, and
I like how ready you are for these questions.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, what's crazy is literally like history majors studied like Black studies and women's gender and all this different, all this different stuff is what DuPont is about.
Too, and then I realized that shit was whack.
No, it can be annoying, especially when it's just white man history. Like, don't nobody want to hear about Aristotle.
Oh my God, it was just white man history.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's what I did.
Yes,
it was straight white people history.
It's overwhelming. You don't connect to it. You're just like, you're literally the reason why all of us are oppressed because
Let's
of
learn
your
about
false
Abraham
ideas.
Lincoln today.
That's a fact.
I mean,
George Washington.
But one thing I do like about history and in general is that you can learn something from everyone.
Yes,
of course.
Literally from everyone.
From
like
every
I'm
walk
reading
of
this
life.
book right now on the life of Abraham Lincoln and how he was able to get to where he was, and it's called Team Arrivals, and it's basically a group of niggas that were just coming at, they were white actually, so I can't use that word, but it was a group of white niggas that was like, that's why he laughed like that when I said it.
Why you laughing?
we all do it. We all do it. We're like, you know what I mean.
You know what I mean?
It was a group of niggas.
It wasn't though.
It was.
Yeah.
I actually would like if you did a narration one day. I would like if you did a narration one day, just saying like, listen, there was these group of niggas, right? 1776.
And then 1776.
They was signing the shit. You know what I'm saying? The niggas they
It's
pulled
so
up on the
funny how
board.
they
But the
embedded
story is cool.
1776 in our memory. Like,
I
and
know.
I don't know, I don't remember
remember
much about
nothing.
history, but I remember the proclamation of whatever, 1776.
But no, just to where I'm learning like the dynamics and certain things that he had to do and certain principles of just how to react to people.
Yes.
And just how to elevate in general. I think I could get something from. I have to skip over the racist shit.
Oh yeah, no, it's
You
a
know
lot.
what I mean?
It kind
and
of
it's a lot, but you can definitely take something away from everything, just in general. So it's
I'm glad we're having this conversation because this is Pride Month, and I feel like being that we're like a hip hop platform, we don't really talk much about the LGBT community because none of us, the three of us,
hard.
none of us are in that community.
It's hard.
But I just feel like it's 2021. There's so many shows out there like Pose, Euphoria, RuPaul's Drag Race. Like there's so many different shows out there that really go deeper into the lives of people in the LGBTQ plus community. And I feel like this day and age, like we're in our 20s, bro. We're gonna have children one day. Maybe we won't, but we might adopt one day. The world is changing. And I feel like, we might not understand it, but we do need to be knowledgeable about it because you never know. You might have a trans kid one day. You might have a kid one day. You might have a kid who's a part of that community. And even if you don't, you might have a niece, a nephew, somebody that you're responsible for, And it's like, you may not understand it, but you do need to get knowledgeable about it because it makes sense why people get offended,
I feel,
it makes sense.
And it's just at the end of the day, it's like it's a human experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, despite whatever you may feel about it, like you know what I'm saying,
what
like
you
I got
eat
my
don't make
own
me
how I
shit,
feel
and who
about
you
it.
fuck
Yeah,
don't
like
make me
but
come.
at the end of the day, it's a human experience.
It's like, bro, I wish everybody would just mind their
again,
business.
like lastly, I'm just gonna end off with like I know for those in the community, like you have to fight every day, but just know there are some people like me who want to know. You know what I mean? And it would be nice because someone not as resilient for me would have taken something negative from that experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to where it's like I even, we do that as Black people all the time, have to explain something like, oh, why's your hair wasn't like that yesterday. Like, or you weren't like this, or you're Black, or like whatever. So just like, and also just the understanding that we are in a time of evolution right now. And this time is different than any other time. And, let everyone on both sides kind of just have the ability to grow.
Yeah,
and learn.
It's all about intention. Like I've been in
1000%.
circles like where you had that experience. I've been in circles where you guys know me. I'm a very vocal person. I'm gonna ask you a question right there. If I don't understand something, I'm gonna say, "So what's going on right here?" So it's like 100%. I've been in circles where I've asked questions and I was received with nothing but with facts and love, No, so
facts,
it's like
100%.
It's always the intent. And remember, give people grace at the end of the day. Like you might catch me one day, be like, "Oh, what's that in your hair?" And I might black on you, and then you might catch me another day, and I might sit there and be like, "So this is a faux line.
Again,
This is how they do it." It's like give people grace, At the end of the day,
Yeah.
just because you had one bad experience with somebody in the
100%.
LGBT community doesn't mean that you're always gonna be met with that. People are
100%. No. I was just more using,
No, I know what you mean.
Just to say exactly
and to
what
the
you said.
brands, like I think it's corny. I think it's whack. If you're gonna do that, do it in a way that it's like you're truly
Don't do it
supporting.
because it's trendy.
Yeah, don't
like,
do it
that shit
because
is
it's
whack.
trendy.
Don't do it
It's
'cause
also
it's
just
trendy.
It's all about
Yeah, it's
the
all
money,
about the money.
Yeah.
Be weary again of remember that some of that heat isn't meant for you. So be weary of putting like almost a spot. Sometimes you have to think about it like you have to be weary of just making yourself the spotlight. Like, damn, like that really hurt my feelings. Sometimes you have to step back and be like, that wasn't meant for me.
Yeah.
So it's very nice that you were like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's good,
That's
whatever.
a fact.
I hear you. You know what?
Fact.
Yeah, you definitely have to take
Love
a step
is
back.
love. Shout out to everybody who's a part of the LGBT community. Shout out to anybody who is dealing with oppression, because we don't compare oppression. Oppression is oppression. We're living to liberate all. And you know what? I hope this is a great Pride Month. I want to go to Pride. I want to go to the march this year. This is the first of the year I'm living in the city, so I definitely want to be a part of that. I want to feel the community and get to feel that sense of pride. And yeah, I think this is a perfect segue to our topics. So I don't know if you guys been just following everything that's been going on in the media, just kind of with like Kwame Brown, Charlamagne the God, Joe Budden, podcast, just so many different things.
2 points for Kwame.
Points.
Give me 2 points
we could
for
do
Kwame.
one. You guys want to do a clap for Kwame?
Yeah.
Mama's
but
cooking.
then they dragged him after. Dragged him after.
But like, there's just but my main topic of that is just like, I feel like when the pandemic started, a lot of stuff had been coming to light. That's not just with, the media, but just with people and things that have been behind the veil are just slowly coming out, you know? And I feel like with the media, it's been very like weird, especially for someone like me, who's someone who aspires to work in the media and, move through the media. It's been hard for me because I've just been seeing so many of my faves letting me down in a way where it's like,
so terrible.
It's terrible. Like, it's just like, at the end of the day, I feel like you have a responsibility, especially when you're on the Breakfast Club, when you're on these huge platforms, like he is always like that. He is always like that. But why it hurts a little bit, because somebody who's watched Charlamagne for years, there was points where I could not stand Charlamagne, and then there was points where I really started to fuck with the evolution. Like, I was like, you know what? He's a black man. Let me give him some grace. He's learning. He's changing. He's evolving. And I really thought, when he came out with his book, Black Privilege, when he was really on that therapy, all that stuff, he was really changing. But now with the whole Kwame Brown situation, it's kind of feeling like he's using mental health and therapy as a way to, like, hide what he's actually doing behind the scenes, which is still
fuck shit.
Like, exactly. And it's like, what do you feel about that, Trey? Because I know you had a lot to say about it.
About Charlamagne in general?
Well, the media, I guess she's talking about the media, but in regards to Charlamagne, I'm not gonna drag the dude, like, and obviously, who am I? Like, and my voice ain't really that powerful, anyways. But yeah, I don't vibe with that. The way he attacked Kwame, because he had an interest in he's invested in all the Smoke podcasts. I thought that was whack. I thought it was corny. The way he played it too was whack.
He apologized.
But that apology still felt a little insincere. You know what I'm saying? And he had to in some regards too. And Kwame lit his ass up, like, as he should. Kwame's been getting bullied for like fucking 20 years, bro.
But here's my one thing though. When you gotta let it go when people are talking about a craft you do for the public. I'm sorry. Because the one thing I didn't like about Kwame's things was, yes, you were getting bullied, but there were some people that earned the smoke that Kwame gave them. Mm-hmm. But there were also some people that they just talked about the craft you do publicly. Let me ask you a
question. Would you consider him a bust?
No, but that's my opinion.
Okay, cool. You said facts, right?
Yeah, the number one.
But question though.
That's my
he
opinion.
was like, what, 17, 18? He was able to buy his mom a house?
That's
at
your
that
opinion.
age?
That's your opinion, Trey.
But that's what I'm saying though. What are you talking about when you say bust?
As far as successful life,
Yeah, speak.
one thing. We're talking about
Basketball. In the world of basketball, he was a bust. In basketball.
If that's what a bust looks like, I'll be a bust too.
No,
bro.
here's the
We
thing.
all bust,
When you
because we
go-
never touched 60 mil. Nobody
I'll
at
be
this
a
damn
bust.
table. So that's all of
But
us.
here's the thing though. That's a different conversation.
you can't talk shit about a millionaire if you broke. That's
Yeah.
it's a fact that I'm not talking about how much money he's acquired.
No one's talking about that.
We're talking about
Numbers.
your craft and what you were hired to do for that money. I don't care about
But
Trey,
Kwame-
that's like Trey. That's like okay. You put out an album, your next album, right? Let's say your next album, you win a Grammy. No, you win a Grammy. He said trash. Let's say next album, you win a Grammy. Trey, you made like $6 million, right?
100%.
You changed your life.
Yeah.
Your next album does 15,000 sales and we don't hear from you again, right? People are allowed to say, as a rapper, you are a bust, but as a man, you put something out there. You had these high expectations. You made something of yourself. You were able to pay for your mom's house, your house, and be able to move on. But when it comes to the craft, when we take all that aside and we just focus on the rap, no one can say you're a top tier rapper.
But he's not trying to say he's top tier. It's just but that's calling him a bust is like derogatory in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing. It's like if someone was to call you a bust, in essence, it would be true.
All right, hold on, Brianna.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
What do you think, Brianna? What do you think?
You know?
It's hard because like I don't like to knock people down. That's the thing. Like, okay, if you have like a bad moment, that's how I feel like about like Chance the Rapper. Everybody crapped on like his last album, and I'm like, okay, but are you here? Are you here for the growth?
I liked it.
Are you here for the growth?
Since the
but
beginning.
what if he didn't grow and then he just went away?
Went away?
Yeah, like what if he was like Kwame and he didn't grow and he just went away?
I don't know. I still give grace. I don't know. It's hard. I want to call him a bust.
Okay, Alex, what you think?
To me, it's just like Kwame. What I took from Kwame's rant, it wasn't the bust, the fact that people are calling him a bust that made him come out. Niggas been calling him a bust for 20 years and he's been hidden. You know what I mean?
Forever.
It's the hate train that follows when he was called a bust. Like 100%. It's like Stephen A. For example, whatever his name is, Stephen A. Smith. I can't stand that brother's voice.
I love him.
But I know you love him. I know sportsmen. I can't stand his voice. It's his voice. I don't even know nothing about him, but his voice annoys me. Yeah,
sometimes
his voice just annoys me.
He a coon with a jacket.
He's just his voice.
But he's a coon with a jack. Nah, you can't say that.
Nah. But you guys can get into that. But let me finish this. But Stephen A. Smith, he is a commentator of sports. So him calling him a bust, that's one thing. But when 20 years later, you're bringing that back up, which is like, why are you bringing that back up? Like, this is a black brother. At the end of the day, when he did it, you could have said he was a bust. But that means 20 years later, there's 20-year-olds who never heard of Kwame Brown. When you bring that back up, wait, let me finish. When you bring that back up, now you're having, especially in this day and age, where our phones is like, Kwame Brown, bust. And it's like now you're having all these people and then not only is it Stephen A. that started the hate train. Now you have Matt Barnes talking, and Charlamagne was completely wrong because in Charlamagne's whole rant about Kwame, he didn't say not one thing about basketball. He did not say one.
So when he
you are 100% correct in that situation.
You're not. And it's like when Kwame came out, I don't even know. I'm not even like heavily into sports, but once I heard like what was going on with Kwame, I obviously tuned in. And for somebody who never even followed his journey, don't know nothing about the brother, I left that feeling like you are 100% correct on what you were saying. At the end of the day, this is a black man who provided for his family. We could call him a bust when it comes to sports commentators. But everybody else, why are you speaking on this man's career 100%. When he changed his family's life, when he is currently changing his family's life? Like,
the only thing I could say and where I say maybe like there's a little bit too much emotion in it is in the fact of when it comes to sports, there's certain things that are timeless. That 20 years ago was a moment that we still talk about today.
But good
was something that we still talk bad things too.
I mean,
when we talk about
Meta
World Peace running into the crowds and fighting niggas, that's a really bad time in his life. And people still bring it.
He's fighting.
No, but here's the no. But that's the thing.
It's like, also the situation too.
No, but here's the thing. If something is, you can't tell what something is for someone. He came on Undisputed.
Nigga threw a drink.
But wait. He came on Undisputed and he talked about everything he lost and he regretted that day. And he said it was one of the darkest moments of his career. And he talks about that and with regret that people still bring up in a laughing matter. So my thing is when it comes to certain things you're doing, when it comes to rap, when it comes to sports, you are in an arena to make a mark and to be talked about forever.
But it's not yours,
though. And people have a right to only talk about what you do in there. When it talks about him being a bust in sports and basketball, you have a right to talk about that forever. Because we still talk about how AI crossed up Ty Lue and walked over him.
But here's the thing,
like,
though.
You know, that was 20.
But here's
that was,
the thing.
I don't know how long ago.
But here's
but you
the
know
thing,
what I'm saying?
though.
But it
It's
still
not.
happens.
But that arena, that space that we in, that's not our space. These are not our spaces.
What are you talking about?
Like that NBA and shit, we don't own those shits, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't own those shit. So when we come in, but if he's coming in as a ball player, bro, he's coming in as a ball player from where he comes from. and he's just in this space now. You don't, just because he's in the space don't give you any reason to violate him, though. To me, that don't make sense.
Violate him. How are we violating him if we're talking about his game?
That's violation, though.
It's not violation.
That's
violating. Because here's the thing, Trey, then you violate every time you hear a bad album and you talk about somebody.
100%.
Then you're violating.
100%.
And you have no right to talk the way you're talking.
100%.
And that's the thing.
But I don't do it on a broadcast in front of millions of people, though.
Yes, you do. You do it here.
There's not millions of people, my nigga.
No, but I'm saying you never know. It could be that one clip that catches fire. You can't say that.
Trey does not violate here. Trey never violates here. Yeah.
At the end of the day, you are in a multi-million-dollar, right, environment to where there are components. There are interview questions you have to do.
Yes.
There are standards you have to uphold. Living standards, things that outside of the NBA, you are contractually supposed to be doing that has nothing to do with basketball. There are consumers. There is a culture, right? So when you enter this culture, there are certain things you have to deal with. At the end of the day, Kwame Brown is an established man with millions of dollars that's made millions of dollars that was able to do what he had to do, right? So there are plenty of people where we say, oh, I think maybe you're even being a little too emotional. Because at the end of the day, like you said, all these things he's done, he's in a better position than I am. He's in a better position than you are. And if a few people are going to comment about basketball,
that's not why he went on that rant.
That's not why he went
off.
Don't
say it like that.
But here's the thing. I started off saying that if you said anything else about other than basketball, you violated.
No, I'm just saying for viewers, because I don't want people leaving here thinking he was emotional because people are still talking about his game.
No. It wasn't about his game. You can't talk about the brother like you know him.
Charlamagne went on there and violated his whole family. Like, anybody would say anything.
When I was listening to it, I was like, wow. There were things that I would have never known if he
And I
didn't
was
say
talking to Alex about this, going back to the media point, right? And I was talking to Alex about this shit too. Like, even the whole way it's set up, right? Think about Donkey of the Day, right? I got family. Y'all got family.
It's rude.
Families Families get into some shit. My family, fuck content though, bro. My family has gotten into some shit though. Imagine if, whatchamacallit, like my cousin has gotten into some shit. Imagine my cousin, like he gets Donkey of the Day for some shit that he got into, and he broadcasts that in front of millions of people. Like, real shit.
Do that on a Monday, and then Wednesday you're talking about mental health of black people.
Come on, my nigga.
But I have a question though. I have a question though. Do you listen to Donkey of the Day?
Yes, bro.
No.
All the time.
I listen to it.
But that's aiding the issue.
That's the point.
You're giving them the money.
You're perpetuating something in which that you are saying is wrong. It'd be one thing if you didn't listen to Donkey of the Day.
You really can't say that because
you can't be a part of a problem and say that's so bad.
No, you know why I can't agree to that? Because as black people, we don't have that many media outlets. Breakfast Club is one of the only media outlets that we have. So you can't say I can't listen to Breakfast Club because of a Donkey of the Day. That's a segment. That is a segment.
What's up, bro?
I'm saying you can listen to Donkey of the Day, but you can't be out here speaking existential shit about Donkey of the Day and saying it's wrong if it was my cousin.
What if I'm not trying to listen?
Hold on.
You listening to Donkey of the Day?
Let's bring it down. Yeah.
That's Brady's. That's my cousin.
I saw your face. I listen to that shit all the time. I saw your face. What do you think, Brianna? Hold on. Let's bring it down.
I mean, like, I understand from that standpoint that that's the only black outlet, but you also have to think about if a whole misogynist, a whole colorist, a whole, like, literally add the isms on there, and that person also, media, you be thinking it's organic, you need to rethink. Because that's literally how you're able to target things. That's literally how you're able to sell stuff. So it's very much like, there's other platforms that we should be advocating for, that people have been advocating for.
Authentic ones,
it's also because of the culture. Like, I can't blame you for having Donkey of the Day on your feed type shit. Just, it's on there. You can't help that.
Yeah, so, like, it's there. You know what I mean? It's like I could have went to listen to an interview, but right before they cut to Donkey of the Day, you know, it's kind of hard to say that because of the constructs of how it is. You guys already know how I feel because I've said this on this podcast plenty of times, and I will say this until I'm blue in the face. As a black person, I can only speak for myself. As a black woman who wants to be in the media, when I go into the media, of course I'm going to critique. Like, music, I don't like to, is a different example.
You don't have to violate.
Because I don't have to violate. I could say,
That's...
Chance, you know, being a fan of yours for many years, I feel like this was kind of very different, and I didn't really like it, you know? know. But I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, your family this, you it. Like, I'm not going there. You know what I mean?
It's giving Wendy Williams.
It's
giving disrespectful. It's giving nasty. Just because you want the viewership.
That's where
And
he came up on.
that's where he came from, Wendy
Yeah,
Williams.
yeah,
And
yeah.
he came from Wendy Williams. Like,
here's
it
the
makes
thing.
sense.
In that regard, I 100% agree. And I 100%
And it's like you have a
feel that.
responsibility as a black person. Like, let the white people talk shit about black people.
That's why I
Why
don't like-
do you
and
have to
quick
be
side
the
note,
one talking shit about
media
white
ethics.
people?
That's
Don't
why I
do
don't like
that.
Oprah. Keep it a stack
Oprah
with
be
you.
hard on other black women. Let's just lay that on the
Yeah.
table. Same thing with Tyra. Same thing with Tyra Banks. Hard
And
as
Steve
hell.
Harvey.
Hard
And
as
Steve
hell on
Harvey.
black people, but when
Nah,
it comes
chill,
to a white
chill,
person,
chill,
you
chill.
coddling them.
So going back to our original question, so
Yes.
we not feeling the media right now. Is that the common consensus?
I'm not
Here's the
feeling the
thing.
ones
I
who are
feel
getting
like-
the light.
I feel like
That's
there.
what I'm
I
not-
think
that's not what I'm
there are
fucking
media outlets that are doing their job,
Yes.
and I think there are media outlets that are doing a lot.
Which ones?
I would say, like I can't name.
It's hard.
It's hard.
on
I
the
can't
spot.
name it right now.
Truly
on the spot.
podcasts where
But
it's like
there-
I feel like but that's the whole thing that Joe Budden was talking about. You remember? I don't know if you guys remember this, but Joe Budden and Charlamagne were really close, and then they had some beef or whatever. And Joe went on a rant on his podcast saying the reason why he can't respect Charlamagne is because at the end of the day, Charlamagne works for a white network, and because he works for a white network and his boss is a white man, he has to follow the white man's orders. And that's where Joe was like, and the difference between him and a Charlamagne is he owns his podcast. He could say whatever he wants, whenever he wants. And that I could agree with because it's like ownership is important because ownership allows you to speak on the things you want to speak on and the things you don't want to speak on. To a certain degree,
No,
though.
I understand. To a certain degree, I hear
though.
what you're saying. My only thing is that I have a hard time with that is just that, you know, that's still something that black people are struggling with is that whole ownership aspect.
Of course,
Like,
of course,
I can't-
of course.
Like, I don't know if I
Yes.
can
Of course.
100%. Like, he has other things that are his, like his podcast, Brilliant Idiots, and other things.
Yeah.
Like, they have other things. And there are a lot of
Trying.
black people that, you know, put themselves in these positions because there aren't a lot of those available for them to have that opportunity of
They're
ownership.
trying.
And a lot of times, sometimes, not a lot of times, but sometimes, unfortunately, there are the black people like Steve Harvey that get this position and they're like, oh, I'm so afraid to lose it that I'm not gonna, you know, go out on a limb. I'm not gonna be
There's too
real.
many
I'm not
firsts.
gonna, there's too many of them first. So, but with that just being said in general, I feel,
on it.
just to wrap up on the media, I think if you do something publicly, people have the right to talk about your work publicly.
Your work,
In any manner.
yeah.
In any manner. That's my opinion. Because then
I agree, to
do
a certain
something
degree,
to where
yeah.
no one sees you and you don't have to deal with that problem.
To a certain degree,
That's-
I do agree.
To a
Same
certain
thing.
degree,
I
to a
agree.
certain degree.
I agree.
Yeah.
In
Like,
general.
if you put like, it's like art. If I put my song out there, you got every right to say whatever you want. Just in that, just be mindful that
You're a person.
You are
Constructive criticism.
constructive. Yeah,
Exactly.
like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
There we go.
About the art,
There we
not
go.
the person.
Not about you
Like,
personally.
Not the
About the
person,
art.
because the person is what's gonna get you capped when you walking out of a fucking store. And on top, and that.
But here's the thing. But yeah, she's right though. She's
But
right.
for real,
She's
that's
right.
what's gonna get you capped. And
Yeah, it's not
another thing
fight
about that is,
Sorry.
as black people maneuvering through this space, I know it's very new. I know this, like, we're trying our best to get to ownership.
Yes.
We're trying our best to break a lot of these molds and things that we're a part of. But a joke is a joke. Like, know when a joke goes too far. Like, if I come up here,
A joke goes to, that's hard though.
wait, but listen.
That's hard.
As a black creative, don't keep beating a dead horse. Like, we know he's a bust. You don't gotta keep saying it every.
bullying.
It's
I
bullying
think
at
when a
that
joke,
point.
but I think when a
Every
joke goes too
single-
far, it's
yeah,
subjective.
Every single
You
time.
can't
It
do
is
that.
very subjective. Some people don't understand limits,
Some
and they
be-
also don't understand how to
Yeah.
be kind, point blank, period. Because some people are so used in their lives being rough with other folks. They grew up in families that were rough. When you spoke to other people, even in the industry, some people are just nasty and
Yeah.
they're rude. And they think, you know what, I have the spotlight, everybody else does it, let me do it, it sells, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have to be the ones to create, like, this is a wonderful environment right
It just
here.
have a,
Like,
Yeah,
and I always
yeah.
say, just do an insult sandwich. Like, say something positive, then sprinkle in, like, be like, yo,
insult saying.
Kwame, I really like the sneakers that he would wear
It's
on the
giving
games,
auntie
you know?
vibes.
He was a bus. But yo, have you seen his skin? It's glowing.
That's auntie
Like,
vibes. That's
do
auntie
that.
vibes.
Like,
That's
instead of
auntie
like
vibes.
killing
Yes.
them, because it's like when white people hear you killing another black person, then they feel like they can kill that, and we don't want that. Let the white people talk about the bullshit, and let's talk about the uplifting, empowering
but what
shit.
I
like,
also do feel are sometimes people are a little sensitive. And I feel like sometimes what's too far for somebody is scratching the surface for someone else. To where sometimes the whole thing of when to not go too far sometimes is a blurred line. Because you could say something very regular to somebody and they'll go off on you. You know what I'm saying? So in my sense of where it's harder to say don't go too far than it is to say be prepared for this if you're gonna do this.
Yeah.
That's my position.
But you have to also understand,
I mean?
these are they have machines, you know?
Yeah.
So like when they make these mistakes, like a Stephen A. Smith, a Charlamagne the God, a Matt Barnes, they have such a big platform that it's missed that it was a mistake. It's mostly you know what I mean? It's very glossed over that it was a mistake. Like, yeah, we can talk, like, more people are gonna look at Kwame and say, oh, he's sensitive, he's being this, than saying, Charlamagne, what you said was very disrespectful.
And it's very hypocritical because,
you know?
Especially like just speaking on the Breakfast Club, it's super hypocritical because they'll get on there and talk about everybody and their mama, but as soon as something come up about them, it's like...
Nah, but one thing I like about Charlamagne, though, is that he never ducks the fade. If
that is true.
No, I'm saying, okay, maybe recently, but in general,
he been ducking that mama's cooking.
The reason why I like Charlamagne, and the reason why I think Charlamagne even made it to this point is when those challenges have happened. He takes the heat. It's whatever. When
Except
they bring
for
up his
mama's
past,
cooking, you understand?
Mama's cooking. Yeah, let's pass on.
In the media, you got to, you know? But, yo, that Floyd and Logan Paul fight,
Did you watch it?
Oh my gosh, I love hugging. I love hugging.
Don't you love when they fight and they're just
love it. They should have taken a picture. They should have stopped the fight and said, it's the $1 million shot. It's the $1 million shot.
Nah, there was a few disrespectful frames.
I didn't see it, but I saw...
I love that.
They posted like a clip. It was like, yo, Floyd forgot that like he wasn't supposed to knock him out. Like, it was like,
it was one punch, he caught him real good, and Logan was like, this is not what we agreed upon. This is not part of the contract.
Yes, I saw the clip,
he like held him up and shit, so he didn't hit
he held
I must
him up.
say, this was the first boxing fight that I've ever watched, that I've watched. I really like boxing. Like, I like the culture behind it. Well, for this game, for this one, yeah.
It's hard for like boxing fans would probably feel a way about you saying that.
I know. This is the first like real. Like, of course, don't get me wrong. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I think one of the topics was that it's good for boxing because let's say if you are a person who doesn't
brings those viewers, baby.
and now this brings her into the realm of like
Yes.
Yeah, if you
that's
don't watch,
the point.
Yeah, 100%. If you don't watch boxing, it gives you the opportunity
and don't get me wrong,
to bring
like,
you
I
into
grew
the
up
sport.
watching clips of like, you know, some of the greatest of the greats, but I've never like experienced the whole like watch party. Like, we had a little watch party. Like, I've never experienced that culture, and I really like it. I think it's exclusive. I think it's very like, it's just like, just the fact that you have to pay for it, I feel like that's dope. I feel like if I'm going to fight somebody, people need to be paying for me to do this shit. Like, but not just tickets. I mean, like, even watching it, you need to pay to watch it.
I think that's
super dope.
I respect Floyd a lot. You know,
Yeah,
like
me
I don't
too.
really pay attention to like to sport like that. Like, I'm not really interested like that.
Post-game.
Yeah, I seen that.
Interviews.
Yeah, I really respect just the hustle behind it. You know, where it's like, he's boxing, bro, and he's taking that shit into his own hands. And people could give him shit for it all they want, but at the end of the day,
he's making money.
In a
positive way, yeah.
And I just think in general, I see both sides to where they say, was the Floyd fight good for boxing, bad for boxing? I could definitely see it being bad for boxing.
I see why.
Because there are people like who make a mockery, and it kind of it can be seen as that way to people who every day that's their job, that's how they feed their kids, that's what turns on their lights, that's what does all these things, and they fight for opportunities. And a lot of that y'all might know is boxing is built a lot on the promoters. The promoters are the ones that set up certain bouts, and there are people who are fighting for these promoters' attention. To set up a fight or something like that.
Yes.
So it sucks when someone like a Logan Paul, who's only ever boxed in one other match, and he lost by decision.
But because of his clout, YouTube and all that,
his next fight is against arguably one of the greatest boxers ever.
Yeah.
So it's just.
But that's always gonna be a fight in today's world. You know, we live in a capitalistic society.
Very much so.
We live in a capitalistic society. Throughout every medium, every sport, every medium, you're gonna find where it's like the popular kid's gonna take it, even if he didn't put in half the work.
But
you know.
Floyd washed him up. Washed him.
Let's say, for example, this fight does numbers, right? It's a white person, and let's say how he talks about, well,
But here's the thing. Though.
I would love to see that.
White white. Okay, so if Floyd was to, let's say, you know, I'm just reiterating it because, you know, for the mics. But let's say Floyd was to like flip this whole generational wealth schemes that he's on to like instead of fighting a white person, fight a black person to give them that type of notoriety, that type of stuff. You also understand like boxing is also, you know, that it's built on the attraction and the pull of that person already.
Yes.
So it's like they're not gonna set up something with giving a dude an opportunity, a Joe Schmo, like for example, because they're not gonna pull in the pay-per-view numbers. They're not gonna pull in the views.
I wouldn't pull in the numbers, me versus Floyd.
Nah, they would pull it. They would pull it in just to watch you get knocked the fuck out.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the only reason. But like someone who actually boxes, like they're not. It's not gonna do the same.
Yes, he
knocked out.
Ocho Cinco got the
that
instant towel dry. Did you see that punch? It knocked him dry. No, it was an exhibition. It was a 4-round exhibition with no winner. I wouldn't even say that. I don't know. That was an unofficial score, but he got towel dried. Like he got punched. He got up and was like he didn't box yet. He was dry.
They did say he eats McDonald's every day, and they were saying that he didn't eat McDonald's.
No,
not
Ocho
Cinco.
Cinco.
And he didn't eat it, so he was off his game. He was off his game. Nah, imagine you was eating a mango every day, wrapped up. The one that you don't have in your body's like
every day.
You can't operate. You're not able to think straight.
Yeah, I know. Quick question. So is there something like, do you have any like pre-recording rituals or like
That's a good question. I like that.
rituals
That's
or
a
things
great
like
question.
that?
I try to meditate. I try to have intention. I definitely like to set a little mood, have a little lighting. I warm up, definitely. I don't eat no dairy. I don't even really eat before I record. It's really boring stuff, and then I just go and we see. If anything, if I'm recording by myself, like at home, it's very much just a go, usually at night, get it done. But if it's in front of people, I try to laugh a lot, try to engage with people, just because it becomes more flowy, more engaging. That's the thing about the pandemic and creating and recording. When you're alone, you're in your own head. Versus if you have other people listening, you could laugh, I can tell jokes, they got stories, very organic. But yeah, very basic. I know like Toni Braxton, she'd be like, no, I don't like it to be cold. No AC. Like there's some people like, no, I only
they have like,
9:05 in the morning, that's when I record. I don't do anything more, anything less. I only do it for an hour and then I need a water break. Fiji. Like, all right.
That's that money talking. You know when you get money and they start separating your Skittles and shit.
Listen, you do not need
He only
any
likes
of that.
the green ones.
Get the job done. That's what I'm about. You don't need all that extra stuff. Get it done. That's what you came here to do.
Sorry to cut you off, but I wanted to ask you, who are some of your favorite singers right now? Give me a top 5.
Right now, I love Victoria Monet, singer and songwriter, point blank period. Yeah, I love her vocal arrangements. I'd have to say, vocal arrangements as well. Kehlani, she did her thing with that last album.
Kehlani is fire too.
Sick. And another singer, I'd have to say, I have to bring in Yebba, because Yebba got the vocals. Yebba served as like a background singer for mad people. That's the other thing. The best vocalist be the background. I just want you to know.
Victoria Monet, or the writer, or the songwriter.
Come on now,
that's a fact.
Yeah, Yebba used to be in the background. She has a song, and I have to say Lucky Day. The reason why I say Yebba and Lucky Day is
you like the last EP?
Loved it.
I loved it. I feel like it could have been a little bit more. But it worked for me. I felt fed. I felt fed. You know, it could have been more.
I feel that.
Yeah,
definitely.
they bring back that old school soul, that neo soul stuff, that like Lucy Pearl, like that Raphael
The concept behind the EP was dope too. Jennifer too or something like that.
Yeah, I liked it. It was cool.
He's really great at the concepts. By the way, I love the way he does his transitions and everything. He's dope. Yeah. I like soul. I love soul.
Do you like Summer Walker?
I do.
No, you don't.
Listen.
No, you don't.
No,
you don't.
All right,
She
no.
said, do you like some more?
Listen, all right. So the thing is that I do, but I love her for her rawness, her vulnerability, and also her just songwriting. But vocally, people be like, oh my gosh, she gives me so much soul. I'm like, she's not giving me soul. She's giving me what Janae, like Aiko, like what she does, which is really like you're giving me honesty.
She gives me
and
more
sometimes
toxic
we don't
Janae.
have that.
More toxic Janae.
The reason I can't do Janae, I feel like if I listen to her much, I'm gonna fall asleep.
No, but that's her thing. That's her thing. No,
Yeah.
No, it's
listen,
too sleepy music.
everybody has a niche. There's different niches of R&B, and I love that we're here. We're at this point where you have the alternative girls who are almost like literally at hitting punk rock, like, or the people who are literally just doing hip hop melodies over R&B. Yeah. We have people who are doing it where I love crystals and sound bowls, and I want you to meditate.
Yeah, that's
and the other people who with like Jennifer Hudson, like in your ear, like you need to listen, like I'm going through something. And the people that are chill over low 5 beats, like, hey, yo, I just want you to roll up and smoke to this. Like that's it. There's different lanes, you know.
I do appreciate the spectrum of R&B now, and I love the variety because I love me a Jasmine Sullivan, but then when I want to get in my toxicity, I love me a Summer Walker, and when I want to feel like I'm trying to grow, I want to hear Erica. You know, there's different levels, and I love that. But like a Kehlani, for example, I'm not the biggest Kehlani fan, and the reason why is because I feel like she speaks to the 16-year-old Alex. Like, I don't feel like she speaks to me at a 24-year-old, like a 24-year-old me. I feel like she speaks to a 16 me who just got into a breakup, and it's like very airy, very like, and it's just like, it's cool.
Well, part of it is her vocal tone. Because remember, there's different vocal tones. There's Jasmine, which is really low, gutsy. You're like, that's a grown woman.
Yeah, like
there's people who sing, it gives you like Minnie Riperton, which is bright, but because they sing these sexual things, these sensual, like Victoria Monet, you're like, I actually do like this. I feel kind of grown. And there's people who have a super duper bright tone. Like when I'm singing with my guitar, like indie stuff, I sound like I am a 16-year-old girl because of my tone. So you can't necessarily help tone down. There's only so much that a beat and vocal arrangements can do for you to make you sound quote unquote grown, even with the content, you know?
Gotcha.
I like, you know who I like a lot? Kali Uchis.
She's good.
Kali.
I like her.
I like the vibe a lot.
She's good.
I like
I
the
tried to listen to her
vibe.
last
OD.
album. I couldn't really get into it like that.
I think she's cool, but I haven't really like. There's nothing that has been like, whoa, like
She's
I
the
love her.
alternative.
No, it's
girly.
nothing like. It's not like. I'm not saying like super spec. I think it's just
It's
good.
different, yeah.
And I like the vibe.
It's the
Like, a lot of
aesthetic,
times,
the aesthetic
vibe
and
is
the
great.
sound. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like very much, and that's what we've gotten to with the point of R&B,
Yep,
which
the
is not
aesthetic.
about if you're a singer. It's about what's the
The vibe.
aesthetic, what's the vibe.
Yo,
That's
I'm gonna
what-
tell you, I'm gonna keep it funky. And I was telling Alex this the other day too, and I think I told Todd this too. Like,
Smell?
yo, I love the rap R&B blend. Like,
I love it.
that combination, that Vori, that
amazing.
St. John thing.
Yeah,
like,
it's so dope. It's so
yo,
dope.
son, that shit is like water to me.
Vori's
Like,
fire.
Vori is fire.
It's dope.
Fire.
Yo, Vori,
Fire.
one time.
One
Yeah,
time
thanks.
for Vori,
Okay.
bro.
I'm proud
If
of
you haven't heard of Vori, go check him out, bro.
Yeah, but like even just like that whole group, like the Brents, the St. Johns, the Voris, like I'm really loving how they're bringing. One, I love the male toxicity in music. Like I can't hold you. Like even I love it. Like yo, I love it. Like when Brent be
You don't
like,
feel
yo,
the
don't
same?
slide in my DMs if you're not giving that sloppy. I'm like, Daddy, I'll give you that sloppy. I'm like, Daddy, I'm here. Like, I gotta love it. Like, from telling you, just the my feminine side, the little freak, little nasty inside of me is like, ooh, talk to me, talk
You
to
don't
me.
agree, Brianna?
She said she likes that commit. I feel
I like it. I like it.
Because I'm really like a neo soul head. It's very much like I miss that. Like he was on his
D'Angelo,
knees.
Maxwell,
He was on
like-
his knees crying for me, or he was trying to seduce me. But he wasn't talking about no. Yeah, she made me breakfast in the morning and I left. She saw my dick and I left. Like
Yeah,
what?
that's
Like
true.
no. Like
That's
I'm,
true.
We
I'm
can put
good.
a new beat to that too and everything.
You know. But the thing is that.
definitely another beat, get 2 remixes on
Yo,
that shit.
no, but that's my thing is that's the problem. Like there's so much of that. Like
That's
I'm
true though. You're right.
good.
Because back in the
I'm
90s,
good.
we had yo, they were singing to
Joe,
us.
I want to know. Yeah. What
They
you
were
want to know?
singing
Let's
to
go.
us,
Let me
yes.
know. Let me know.
Even
Ask
White
me the
Clef with his
questions.
someone call 911.
You said being older is a little boring?
Nah,
Yeah, like, cause I grew up, cause I'm with you. Like, I grew up loving neo soul. Like, I'm a Lauren, D'Angelo, Erica. Like, I'm that type of baby. Yeah, but now in my 20s, and with the way these boys is looking,
wait.
Brent,
See, you fell for it.
I fell
She
for
said
it.
you fell for it.
Yo, I
It's always
fell-
the pretty
look,
ones.
Brianna,
It's always
I
the
fell
pretty
so
ones.
deep. I fell so deep, and I can't get out because I love it. I love it. I'm gonna go back. I'll probably revert to back to the
Yes.
but now in my raunchy 20s, I'm loving this toxic masculinity.
She's on my
You
dick in
know?
the back. Hey, I'm
No,
in the
not
business
that,
side.
not
Hey, I let her to the yak.
no.
Yo,
In rap,
she's
it's different. It's
she's on my
funny.
dick in the back. Hey, I get that big ass slide. Hey, she put up.
You gotta sing it. I like
Nah,
it. I don't
yeah.
like it in rap. Yeah, I don't like it in rap because it's too aggressive and abrasive. But the way Brent does it, he makes it so.
how you say it.
Yeah,
She
it's
suck my dick
how
in
you
the
say it.
back.
But the way
Like,
Brent be
she love
saying
it
it,
like
it's
that.
like.
She opened her mouth.
Yeah, it's like
she was going down south. I
It's
let
like-
it go.
I mean, like,
Letting it
if
go.
anything,
Nah,
Play
if
a
anything,
snippet of Brent real quick. Play like a under 10-second snippet of Brent real quick.
My mention to like R&B is
I love Georgia's twins.
Georgia's twins. I like the record she did with Brent. That was a good record.
She's great. I don't want any more of her. There's too many people trying to be like her.
Play this snippet real quick.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a good album.
That's a fact.
That's a good choice. That's a good choice.
How do you like Snow Allegra? This reminds me of the 90s though too. Yes. Yes, baby. Get it, baby. That toxic masculinity. Hey. But still, yeah.
That's one of my actually favorite tracks from that album. I do like, the thing is that I feel so 50-50. In fact, like I have like a project that will never be released on the streets. We'll see. That was literally just coming from that perspective to respond to Brent. Like, oh, you thought you were toxic? I can one up you.
I like
Very
that,
much
and
so.
I like when girls get into that toxic because when that's one thing I really like about Summer.
I don't like when these girl artists be talking about sucking dick. I can't sing along.
No, that's not the toxicity. I'm not talking about that kind of toxicity.
I'm talking about when you talking about Brent, Brent talking about
Brent. You ever heard 32 Session by Summer Walker?
No, she's
Session 32. Yeah.
That is like the toxic shit that's fire though. It's fire though. Like she's like, you don't know what love it. Like she's like,
I love that.
That was really.
But I do love that about Summer. That rawness.
Yes.
Like it's very like she just got into a room, put on her guitar. Was thinking about a fuckboy and started going. Like I really like that.
And she's giving versatility in that there also is strength within being raw. Because I know that I've talked to like my older mentors. They've been like, girl, I don't like to sing that sad shit. She was like, I don't like to do that. And no, I felt her. I said, yo, like I grew up singing mad sad songs.
Yeah,
like
of course.
slow
Mary J.
songs.
Blige.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Keisha
mad
Cole.
sad. Very much like I need you. And it's like, no, Summer Walker says, no, sometimes I'm going to cut up all your stuff, burn it, but then I'm gonna love you after.
Yes.
And there's some days where I'm crying, some days where I'm angry, some days where I'm just
Channel
good.
left eye.
And, you know, versatility.
And I feel like I was also listening to too much sad music. Like you ever, as a kid, like
we were listening to a lot of sad music.
You were listening to sad music, and then you just be in your room putting yourself in a sad ass mood for nothing.
Yeah.
You just because you just been listening to sad music.
Yeah.
Well, that's
so
why we have the
strange.
Bryson Tillers now. Think about it. Think about the sound right now. It's a reflection of what we listened to when we were younger.
When we were in
Think about
90s.
that.
No,
We're
it's true.
emulating
It's
just
true.
all of the
Because even that Brent
sadness,
song
the
made me think
moodiness.
of like the 90s, and it's like that's really what it is. But in the 90s, like a Mary J. Blige was a sad song. Like she would always sing everything was sad. Like Keisha Cole, everything was about you cheated, you left me, you nigga, you ain't shit. Like it's like, but I really do cherish that. But before we wrap up the show, because I know we're gonna go out with one of your songs, speak to us about versatility, because I feel like you are a very versatile artist. And how important is it to you to switch up your sound?
Let me get my gun out.
Let
me get my gun out.
No, I feel like it's just. I get bored. I'm growing up. I used to sing soul songs all the time. I get stiff right here trying to do a two-step. Like, remember, you got to step right here to the rhythm. And after a while, I was like, yo, like, I really want to bring more to the table, because even then when people are like, yo, you're a great R&B artist, I'm like, honey, I'm not just an R&B artist, I'm an artist. And I feel like people who helped make that a thing is Prince, and also, it sounds so weird to say Prince and then this person, but Drake. He's been able to take from different genres. And you know what the thing is? Hear me out.
Talk about it.
I don't want to say that he's the best artist, but what I will say is that he is he's one of the few artists.
Cut the tape.
He is one of the few artists.
Somebody cut the tape.
Be quiet.
One of the few artists who's actually taken a risk with their
you're
sound.
100% right.
There's a lot of artists that stay within this lane because you're like, oh, this is how I make bank. This is what my fans want. Even then, I'll say another versatile artist like Willow. She brings you a lot.
Love Willow.
And the thing is
Love
we need more artists that bring a lot to the table, because there's so many times when we're at these Grammy Awards, mind you, whiteness doesn't define us, whatever. Nobody needs an award. But they do these boxes versus like you have so many artists that bring everything to the table, and I feel like that's what I'm trying to train for and work on. You know,
I feel like that's why I like Tyler the Creator.
That's one of my favorite. That's
Think
why I
about
love
it.
him.
So
That's
why I
my
love
favorite
Tyler
artists are so versatile. Like that's growing up, Lauryn Hill was one of my favorite artists, and I used to love how she could sing like a gospel song, but then rap like no other. Like the final hour, the way she was like she could get in the booth and really rap better than some of these guys out now right now, you know. And it's like I love versatility in artists.
It's essential to grow. There's a lot of artists that are like they'll stay in the same lane, but they won't hone their craft, which is why I say some people get better when you try something that's completely out of your lane. Even if you never drop that song, you never drop that collaboration, whatever. It's just better to tap into things.
And that's crazy. Not to bring Guam back up, but he said that like certain things are just an experience. Like some things you just have to experience.
Juan said that?
Even if you like it, like, even if you don't like it, you could say, "Oh, that's trash," but maybe you were just meant to experience that.
Sometimes it has to grow and you come back to it later. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love your playlist.
Like I be seeing.
That's how you grow.
Like I be watching Todd's photos, and I'll be looking at his page, and the photos be like trash. He'll have like 10 trash ones, and I have one good one. I'm like, I see that you tried something there.
Oh.
That was the one that.
Yeah, all the pictures you dropped of him. All the pictures you dropped of him. Facts. Nah, but I really love what you said about that because I do.
Yeah, that's
I think in hip hop, R&B, rap, I feel like we really do need to push the versatility card more. Like, I get it. You could rap my ass off for 10 bars, but give me more. Like, I want to hear more. Like, and it's like it doesn't even have to be with your sound.
Unless your name's J. Cole.
It could be. Nah, but even J. Cole gives us more. J. Cole be singing on his tracks.
No,
like,
I'm saying I could listen to 15 songs of J. Cole just rapping. And
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
be okay.
of course.
No melody, no beat.
Yeah, I can listen
Just
to
quiet,
but
just
even
bars.
but even
I'll
in J.
listen to
Cole,
it.
like J. Cole doesn't stay in that
Nah, of
lane.
course
Like
not,
even
yeah.
in this past album, like when he gets into those bags of his singing
Album
and
of the
stuff,
year
like
so
I
far,
really
Change Your Mind.
yeah, it is the album of the year so
Change Your
far. I
Mind.
do believe that.
Pride is the
Pride
devil.
is the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
Let go of my hand.
Let go of my
Close,
hand.
Let go of my hand.
To Hunger on Hillside.
Let go of my hand is one of the
Hardest
hardest.
We didn't
songs.
talk about that album. Like,
Bro, we didn't even talk
let's
about
talk about
that.
the
Let's
album
talk about the album real quick.
Yo,
The
Did you listen
off
to it?
season.
I listened to it a little bit.
Oh man! All right, y'all. That was nice. That was Pass The Aux. We chilling, but Brianna's getting the fuck out of here. All right, so this is nice.
Brianna, you didn't like the album?
I liked it. It's
No, you
just,
didn't.
I don't know. The sound, I wanted a little bit something more. It sounds like him and comfortable, but like you're saying, I want something more. I want something different.
What else did you want from it?
And that's the thing I don't know.
What do
Did
you
I want
want him
different
to
production?
make
The
water in the
bars are
wine?
there. I just want it to be known.
Are
Like-
you a Cole fan though? Like have you like can
Yes,
you
yes,
say
yes,
you're a
yes.
Cole fan? You
I like-
progressive.
yes,
What was
yes.
one of your favorite albums by him?
Forest Hill Drive.
This is his second best album. No,
The
it's his
second?
best album. Pause. I think it's his best album.
So, it's crazy because I think, and everybody
I think
thinks I'm
Born
crazy
Sinner
for
is
this.
his
I think
second best album.
Born Sinner is his best album.
think it's his second best album.
Sonically, I think.
Okay, yes, I was going to
Born
say.
Sinner is his
Production?
second best album.
Production-wise, sonically,
I think
that
full
was fire.
package. Forest Hills Drive.
Yeah,
Forest Hills Drive.
I
Yeah,
agree.
that's what I'm
I don't think
saying.
there's a better
Sonically,
thing
you see what I'm
than that.
saying?
and
You see what I'm saying?
production-wise, Born Sinner. The sounds I feel like he tapped into in Born Sinner,
I think we
I've
can
never
fight.
heard before.
We can fight about it. I'm
Yeah,
down.
but I love him. I love
Trey's like
everything.
neither of those
There's not
albums,
one
bro.
Cole album
What's
I've
your
ever heard
favorite
that I
Oh
don't
album?
no,
like.
it's never like, oh my gosh,
Bad.
it's ugly.
It's bad,
I don't
yeah.
like it, disgusting.
I used to
Nah.
think the
funny.
warm up, but that's a mixtape.
Wait, Trey, can I say
right?
something to you real quick? It's funny that Brianna's saying that she feels like it's basically the same stuff.
What?
J. Cole's album. Because you guys swear that you guys don't like when people stick to the same fold, but
J.
so
Cole
many
didn't do
people
that.
think J. Cole sticks to the same fold.
He does try
but
different things.
But
He
I
does,
always
but-
tell you, like, I have a biased opinion. I'm like a MC. Like, I'm looking at it from an MC's perspective.
Yeah.
From
Yes.
an MC's perspective, that nigga was in so many pockets I've never heard
I've
before.
never
That's a
heard
fact.
Especially
before.
as a Cole fan.
That's
I've
a
never
fact.
heard him.
It's a
Writing, wicked.
It's just so
Layers.
many
And
different
so
things.
many
to
layers.
like-
So
Writing
many
was
different
wicked.
things.
The
For
And
me, it wasn't
Yeah.
the same. But
The
I can see
writing-
why
The
people say
writing
that.
and the delivery, I will say,
Different.
dope. I just
Yeah.
wanted
Same.
something different from that production. I don't know what it
feel that.
I
is.
hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Okay.
I hear what you're
Okay,
saying.
I hear what you're
I
saying.
don't like it, but look,
What?
can I
That
tell you? Can I
transition
tell you?
from
Can I
Lil
tell you?
Baby,
Can I tell you
like-
something? Can I tell you
That shit
something?
was
man.
fire.
Y'all
And
need to stop
anyone-
sleeping on him like he
was
can't
that?
rap. He can actually rap
Shit
though.
was hard.
He can actually rap
Cole,
though.
right?
Lil Baby
Oh,
can
yeah,
actually
yeah,
rap.
100%.
Like,
Yeah,
he
Lil
can
Baby
carry his
like-
own on the
Little
track.
actually
Little
rap.
Baby could rap, yeah. Little Baby could rap. It's just a sound that I'm trying to
Nah.
see. I want to see
Nah,
if it's
look.
going to
Hold
evolve.
up.
That's
I
it. It's just
remember-
a sound. That's it.
don't know.
But
I
I do
remember
think Little Baby could rap.
I remember I
what you're talking
spoke with Ek about this, and I remember we had a debate about who was better, Lil Baby or Gunna. Ek was 100% on Lil Baby. Look, I agree, my nigga. That nigga Lil Baby.
Why do you guys have to do that?
It's nasty, bro.
His potential is
Is
through
through
the
the
fucking
roof.
That's
roof,
the other thing
bro.
too.
Like,
People that were kind of like, and you kind of ask right now, you don't say nothing serious. Give them a moment, because remember when Cole came on the scene, he wasn't talking about all the shit that he's talking about
Yeah, he
right
was
now.
talking about
You gotta give
college.
people a moment.
Yeah, nigga was
Even
talking
the
about
bars
college
and
and
everything.
senior
You gotta
basketball.
give
Y'all
a
listen to
moment.
Cole? Like,
Here's the thing. He has, but let go
Yeah,
of
that's
my
one.
hand.
That's the best song on
Let
the
go
whole
of my
album.
hand. Look, let me tell you something.
He said, "My
Let
son
go.
said, let go of my hand." I was like, ah! And I
That
love
whole
how
Cole
did
for
you
that.
resonate with it?
I resonated with it because I saw myself there. That whole
Yeah,
scheme where
yeah.
he talks about yeah, that
Yes,
thing where he talks about
yes.
fighting, but first he talks
Wasn't,
about how he got the beat.
afraid of
and he was
dying.
talking about, I found an instrumental on my phone while on vacation. I probably heard it before, but slept on it, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Shit don't always connect as soon as you press play.
Press play,
Sometimes
yeah.
you gotta step away, do some living, let time provide a new prescription, give it true
True
visions.
vision, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Cole really talks to us. We are his demographic, bro. He speaks to us. Like, I love the fact that we are his demographic because every line he spits speaks to us. Like, and what I love about Cole is if you're a fan and you grew with Cole, it's like he might be private, but when he raps, that nigga's not private. He tells you what's going the fuck on. And it's like, even when he was like, fucked all the hoes until you realized that you was the hoe. I'm like, Cole, you cheated, motherfucker. Like, he was like, you cheated? And I was like, oh, he probably did, but you know.
He said, if I said I was the toughest growing up.
Yeah, he did say he cheated.
That whole thing,
all them
he
niggas
said,
cheat.
if I said I was the toughest growing up, I would be lying. I had a fear of getting punched while everybody eyeing. Add to that a constant fear of dying by gunshot wound and other violent type of endings. He was just, it just gets me mad.
Yeah.
Yo.
He's getting
So question, and I know it's hard to say because they haven't released yet, but Drake and Kendrick are rumored to be dropping soon. Are we anticipating? What do we think?
It's different vibes.
I didn't say they wasn't. All I'm saying is, what do we think we're getting from it? How do we think?
Can I answer that first? I think Cole. I feel like Cole is giving us what we needed at the time that we needed for hip hop. I feel like when Cole dropped this album, we needed that for hip hop. And shout out to Jones, he said that the first, like once he heard it, he said that in the group chat. He was like, hip hop needed this. And I think that's true. When Drake drops in the summer, because I know he's gonna drop probably in the next month, we're gonna need that for the summer vibes.
Yeah, there we go.
And then when Kendrick drops, black people, the black community is gonna need that. So I just feel like there are three different artists giving us three different things. Music that I'm gonna love. I know I'm gonna love the Drake album. I know I'm gonna love the Kendrick album. But I don't wanna compare the three. I don't think one of them is gonna have the best over the best. Obviously, it's probably, when it comes to lyricism and bars, Cole and Kendrick are probably going to be on top of Drake. But when it comes to musicality and how many replays, Drake would probably be up there. So I just feel like with different sentiments, it's just going to be different.
Here's the thing, though. Brianna, you answer the question. What do you expect?
It might depend with the repeat. Like, for example, to Pimp a Butterfly, we
listen to that a lot.
You see what I'm saying? It depends on what Kendrick's headspace is.
I love that album. To Pimp a Butterfly, I love that.
It depends on what Kendrick's space is.
Like.
If he's trying to give us some real shit without like the production that matches that,
yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be that replay. Yeah, I mean, I'm down. I feel like Drake is just gonna be a lot of party music, but it's gonna be dope though. I feel like he'll give us, because he was able to do, the 2C or whatever? Yeah, no, he's gonna be able to give that again, but it'll probably be different.
Are you expecting something transformative out of this Drake album?
I would like to tell you yes, but I can't say that with my full heart.
Yeah, we know that's not true.
I mean, if anything, maybe he'll try really hard with one song to give us crazy bars. So we stop disrespecting him. No, because I feel like everybody's been beating him up. Everybody's been beating him up.
Imagine being Drake and it's like, that's crazy.
Should never let the. I'm just saying.
But it's gonna be good music, though. It's gonna be good music.
It's gonna be good music. But transformative is subjective. Yeah, and transformative is subjective because, again, y'all think Cole's album was transformative, while some people think that shit is exactly the same as his old.
What if you don't respect the other people's opinion?
And what if we don't respect yours? And what if we don't respect yours, nigga?
What if I disagree and I'm ready to scrap about it?
It's so funny because we heard, like, you know, and T. Bruin came to the fight party we threw, and he played a couple, I don't know how the fuck he got his hands on whatever. He played a couple records off of
Certified Lover Boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a leak off of Certified Lover Boy. Some of them records, if they are gonna be on the final joint, they kind of sound
it's gonna
crazy.
be fire.
I can't hold you.
Some
of them sounded dope. Like some of them really sounded
fire. No. Here's the thing. I will never. Here's the thing. The reason why I say these things about Drake is because I put his artistry at such a high level. Like, I put it at such a high level. Like, Drake, at one point, I was like, damn. Every album was like he digivolved. Like, from one album to the digivolve to evolution, next album, and I just feel
he
like
had something to prove, and now he doesn't.
I feel like,
there we go.
Yeah,
not that he doesn't have nothing to prove.
Now he had something to prove. He was Jimmy from Degrassi. He had a lot to prove.
I would just like him to go back to rapping like his fridge was empty.
His fridge was never empty.
His fridge is bigger than our crib.
His fridge was never empty.
No. Rapping like it. He used to, even though his fridge wasn't empty, he used to rap like he had nut. He used to open that shit like.
Right. Take all that shit out of his fridge.
Take out his.
Facts. Drake has so much money now. But yo, I think all of them. I think all three of them are gonna be amazing.
So too.
I'm definitely anticipating all of them.
Kendrick, I'm not letting it go that he took so long to give me.
Bro,
music.
I don't mind.
Like why? Like
artistry,
what?
hone the craft, get the production correct. So when I'm listening to that, there was one track Q-Tip was on, and I was like, what's the mixing like? You could have took your time. You know what I'm saying? With the bar, the verse, the story, the concept. Take your time.
You're correct.
Yo, he said, when did Brady's album come out?
Yo, you're correct. But let me tell you this. All I'm saying is that Kendrick, as a fan, it hurts me.
Oh my God.
It hurts me.
You just
I'm
keep
not that important.
wanting. You keep wanting. You
It
keep wanting.
hurts me.
You
That's
want
all I'm
product.
saying.
But what about the quality?
Same thing with Frank. It's like, damn,
Facts.
bro.
Frank be playing with my
hurt me.
heart.
That's what I'm
Can I say
saying.
something? You know
It
what
just
would
hurts me.
You know what would hurt me
If
more?
we put
love
out
Frank
some whack
Ocean.
shit.
Go
ahead.
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
know.
That would hurt me
You know
more.
what would
But
hurt me
that's
more if
impossible.
I waited and it was That would
It's
hurt
not
me
gonna
more.
be
But it's not gonna be
though.
ass.
He's
So
never
get it
given us
right.
an
I'm
project.
just
Like,
saying, bro, I used to say that about certain artists.
but
I'm
that's
just
not
saying.
Kendrick,
But that's
though.
not
You play-
him.
Like, you gotta
That's
remember,
not
Kendrick
him.
is an anomaly amongst the anomalies. Like, you feel what I'm saying?
You're right,
Like,
you're right. I guess
And
that's just my
Kendrick is at a
pessimism.
point now where he knows. Yeah, Kendrick's at a point in his career where he knows
I feel like
what he owes us, and he would never give us
he's
He
tapping
would
in pockets.
never.
Like, come on,
Yo, bro.
Damn
Quality
grew on me
matters.
like crazy because when I first
Same.
heard it, I
Exact
didn't
same
have the
sentiments.
love for it that I had. But
Now, yeah.
I kept playing and I was like, yo, I don't know why.
Right.
This
You
shit
had
just
to
kind of grew
expand that
on me.
palette.
Yeah.
You had to expand the story, the scheme, the production, everything. Makes sense.
And no lie, and it's so crazy the duality in music because I'll listen to that and then I love to listen to these young boys talking about, yo, nothing. I can't hold you.
It's the melodies.
I love it.
It's
It
the
really
melodies
is.
that
It's the
get you. They keep talking
melodies.
about anything. You're like,
Yeah.
I love the way that
I
you
just
rolled
like
that.
the way that it
Yeah.
sounds.
Melody's
I can't
fire.
hold
So
you.
like,
That's what I love about Rod Wave. It's like whatever he's going through, don't ever get
Nah,
over
Rod
that.
Wave is
Keep
very
going
lyrical,
through what
though.
you're going through.
ever-
Don't ever
Rod
get
Wave
over
is very
it.
good at
That's
painting
so
a picture.
toxic. That's
He's
so
very good at-
toxic.
He's very good at
and that's the
I
thing
love what
that's
he's
the thing
going
that
through.
lyricists have to, like, 2021 and moving forward, lyricists, they have to understand that to be a lyricist is cool, but you also have to make it
Music.
You have to put melody behind it
Yeah.
in some aspect, in some form,
That's
in
the
some
difference
shape.
between
Like,
underground and mainstream. That's the complete difference. There are people who are full-on lyricists. You're like, bro, what the hell is that beat? But you was here for the bars. And it depends on what lane you're trying to be in as well, very much. You can't be asking for crazy stuff from certain people. Like Drake, I'm not going to sit there and ask you from a Kendrick level of
Thank
lyricism.
you.
I'm not going to do that because that's unfair to you. That's not your lane.
Thank
That's
you.
not your
And
lane.
what if
and
he's
he's
giving
really
it
good
before,
at his
though?
lane.
But what if
you
he's
know
giving
what
it before?
But here's the thing.
He's expanding.
But here's the thing. He is expanding, but it's just nice sometimes. It's just nice.
And he
to
drops
hear.
it sometimes.
Because Drake,
Sometimes.
you know why?
You'll get it sometimes.
I
You'll get it
think
sometimes.
because Drake on any beat in any lane with any artist can keep up.
Facts.
Anybody.
Facts.
So it's just nice
anything, he makes
sometimes
it better.
to hear something that might not everybody might not love, but an MC would go crazy.
And I've been saying
for.
this lately too.
Like,
I've been saying
that's
it where I feel like it's getting to a point where I feel like Drake is rapping at me, not to me anymore. And it's like that is kind of like becoming a little disheartening as well. Where it's like with Cole, I hear the Cole album, I'm like, yo, this nigga is rapping through me. He's rapping
Y'all should
for
start.
me.
Y'all
Like,
should start a rap therapy group where you guys could discuss your feelings about how
Yeah, that
people
sounds-
aren't rapping to you anymore because that sounds like
Whatever, Alex,
a personal
whatever.
problem.
Yeah, that sounds like you need to find your niche. You know, that's why Spotify exists. You know what I'm saying? There's those
Yeah,
playlists
it
just
sounds
for
like-
you.
it sounds
Hey,
like
hey, hey,
a
there's
playlist.
there's a playlist
Just
for
for
every.
you.
There's somebody who only wants
like
to
a-
listen to somebody rapping over house music. You're like,
Thank
bro,
you.
why would I want that?
Yeah.
But there's something
There's
for
a world
everybody.
for you.
There's enough for everybody
And
to eat on the table.
and if it doesn't satisfy you, like I said, just start a therapy group where you guys could do that on IG. Do that, all right? All right,
Yo,
yo.
oh, it's also real quick, I gotta throw out there, yo, JID, I can't keep fronting like you not rapping your ass off.
And I'm excited for Ghetto
on
Gods.
every
Yeah.
single fucking
wait,
verse.
wait.
JID on every verse is rapping his ass off.
That's a
Just
goat.
throwing that out there.
Yeah,
That's a
JID's a
goat.
goal.
That's
Yeah,
a
he
goat.
is. That's my guy.
rapped his,
That's my guy.
That's a goat.
That
That's my guy.
scatterbrain
That's a
verse.
That's my guy.
That's a goat.
Listen to it again.
That's a goat.
He said, I don't even know. He said, Morse code when I'm talking, it's clicking. What are you talking about, Trey? That shit is crazy.
Nah, I love the Dreamville camp. I love the Dreamville camp.
I
Like,
don't know.
Ari, we didn't even talk about Ari,
are they
but
the
Ari,
strongest camp right now?
Yes.
in my opinion, yes.
Yes. As
TDE?
Nah.
You still put TDE on
They don't drop enough music.
I'm fucking with Ari more than SZA right now.
Duh. That's
you.
not even a
Yeah,
said that
I'm
he matters
fucking
so
with
much.
Ari more than
Not even a
SZA.
But here's
question.
also the thing, like they have so
Ari
many
over
people,
SZA.
like in the Dreamville camp, that are dropping music and it's too much, it's too present for me to say that somebody has been going. And I'm not saying the quality's not as good, but when it comes to strongest camp right now, I'm not saying a camp that can keep up with the other camp. The strongest camp right now.
It's Dreamville.
It's gotta be Dreamville.
It's Dreamville. Yeah. Because if you even compare the
maybe QC.
Quality
control.
But even if you compare the what is it? What are they? The labels talent. If you're comparing a SZA and Ari, I'm giving it to Ari. If you're comparing a Kaz and Boz, I'm giving it to Boz. To me, I'm giving it to Boz.
We're on the same team.
Not Kaz. Like a Reason?
A Reason. If you're comparing a Reason to Boz, I'm giving it to Boz.
I think Reason got Boz.
I think Reason got Boz. I think Reason's last project. I think Reason got Boz too.
Maybe.
Was amazing.
It was amazing. He was rapping his ass off.
On that shit is crazy. Window pane, whatever that was.
Yeah, that was
fire. She got with Ab-Soul is
every time Ab-Soul.
Yeah, I was gonna say
every time Ab-Soul on the track, it's gonna be amazing. Whenever Reason and Ab-Soul connect. Yeah, Ab-Soul's really good.
So slept on. Schoolboy
Q.
His last project though, I expected more though. I can't hold you. Crash I think it was called Crash.
Yeah, Crash was very not industry industry kind of. Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah, I want more push for him.
I understand it.
And I like Schoolboy's visuals. His artistic mind is sick.
TD's visuals are usually way better.
Yeah, they're really creative.
If you put visuals aside, TD's visuals be crushing Dreamville. 100%. Like,
yeah,
that's a fact. But in terms of just music, Dreamville kind of is like consistently
very consistent. But
I'm really Earth Gang. I'm really excited for Ghetto Gods. Those are my boys.
Yeah.
Like I'm really excited for the upcoming music because we outside and the music
it's gonna be
and it's about to be you niggas who was hiding for the last year. You got to come to light now. But Brianna, this was such a dope episode. We're so happy to have you. This was long overdue. Good luck on all your endeavors. We will definitely be here rooting for you. I already know. Big things that go on for you, so I'm here for you, man. I'm so glad to see that you kept up with the music. You've only evolved, became more secure in it, confident in it, and just the sky's the limit for you, girl. Keep it going, man. We at you're at almost a mil for. You're at half a mil?
Almost half a mil.
All right, next single, we're going to get you to a mil. Don't worry, all right? Thank you so much.
We can create something dope on the
24th. You will.
I'm praying we create something dope on the 24th. I'm really looking forward to that session.
You will. Thank you guys so much for catching this episode of Pass The Aux. I know we haven't been here for a while, but, the summer, just a lot has been going on, but don't worry. We're going to be back with the consistent content. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and if you're not following us on all the socials, make sure you do that.
But also, the reason why we've been going, it's not like we just sitting on our hands and knees. We actually doing shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? We moving, we living life. We always, I think that's another thing too, where I just kind of want to touch on too. Like, with this podcast, like, we just have to figure out how to be ourselves with it. You know what I'm saying? Because how
to work it in our lives.
Because we do shit. Like, we live lives, we do shit. Like, and sometimes we may go on that 3-week, 4-week shit. You know what I'm saying? But we always just try to make sure we get an episode out to y'all as much as possible. You know what I'm saying?
And as much as like, this show is for the viewers, it's really for us too. The way we connect.
Now, for you.
Nah, for real. Like the way we connect to artists, the way we have such dope conversations with different creatives. It's really something that's very fulfilling for us as well, just as much as it is for you guys out there. So all the fans that have been here from day one, Judah, Stormy D, just all the people that just all the people that have been here from the very beginning. Thank you. Solace, my boy. I love him.
Gotta get Solace on the show.
Yes, all the guests we've had, Brewing, Guan, everybody.
A lot of people.
Thank you guys so much for rocking with us because Pass The Aux is something that's super dope to everybody and everyone who encounters it. So we want to just keep it going. Again, thank you guys so much. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Brianna, plug in for us real quick.
Oh yeah, you can follow me at Poet Dreaming on Instagram and on Twitter, and also catch your girl on Spotify and all the streaming platforms. Brianna Knight, and go stream So Deep. What are you doing? Why are we not at 500,000 yet? What's up?
Let's go.
So you can introduce the song we going out to because it's yours.
We're gonna do the.
I need gun sounds in the background.
Let's put on a How Do You Feel?
Yes.
Because I'm feeling good. So.
Yes.
I'm feeling great.
Episode 36, baby.
Let's go, Brianna Knight and the Nats. Let's get it.
Love is love.
Yes.
This is for you, Brian.
How you feel like that? Hey. You can bring it around and you feel like it's on it. How you do it like that? How you filming it down, make it know what you're down in? Got a foot in your mouth, tripping over words like you ain't down south. Spotting over here with a spell, you can tell what you did to a trick. Need a moment right now. I don't even know what the ish is about, but I know I smell it when I put you on trial. What you say is all for me, it's constantly reminding me how you look to fake a smile. Never knew your words, so you curve good things. A nigga right now, I don't even wanna think about how a house could be so strong, you let it break down. Old squeaky floors, but so much shine. Crooked don't align. Anger from you like a pencil. Quick way, yeah, under pressure combustion. How you feel like that? And you bring it around and you feel like it's on there. How you do it like that?